Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV. Whoa, whoop, wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, I've got some. Wrong button. Wrong button. Oh, got wrong button. Okay, all right. Got bunch of crap on the screen here. Every time, right when we're starting to record. Hey, can you edit that when you go to edit that stuff out before you when you edit this before you upload it? Are you ready? Thank you guys for coming back to another episode of Cobra TV. And so this video is going to be about speculation. It's also going to be touching on some of the stuff I see going around on the Xbox. A lot of videos of YouTubers coming out, and I don't know, just a lot of crazy things coming out from that, saying that it's you know, why bring that to Xbox? You know, it's that didn't Xbox learn from Sony's mistake and things like that. You know, so that's going to kind of tie into my speculation to, you know, what I think is going on with No Man's Sky and Next and stuff like that. So people have been asking me to speculate, and I think I kind of have, but then I sat back and I thought about it. You know, my big speculation, you know, you got the people floating out, you know, people out there floating around the idea of VR, and my part of the speculation was multiplayer. Now, when I think about speculation is, you know, when you take something and you have a lead and then you speculate off of that lead, but I don't really think that, you know, just me stating that I think that there's going to be multiplayer, I don't think that that's speculating, because I think, you know, of all things, I think that there's going to be multiplayer in No Man's Sky. As the last blog stated, that there was going to be multiplayer in No Man's Sky, that, you know, that the floating orbs and 16 players per lobby and being able to hear them was the first step in synchronized co-op multiplayer. That was they said that was their first step. So I feel like they know that they have to add something to that, even if it's as small as just giving us avatars so we can see. So that's a given that's going to be in Next, and you know, adding on to a little bit of multiplayer. Now, speculation would be outside, you know, speculating outside of just an avatar, or thinking of anything outside of just an avatar would be speculation. Like saying, oh, there's going to be mini games, and oh, there's going to be hub integration, and there's going to be trading with a. Now that's speculation. But when it comes to multiplayer, I have no idea what they could possibly add. You know, what we could do. I don't know what they're going to do with multiplayer. I just know that it's going to be large. You know, it's going to be a portion of Next. So as people are asking me to speculate, and they're asking me what's on my mind, I could give theories. I could give theories on what I think Next is, and I'm a little reluctant to do that. But I think I should at least tell you guys what's on my mind with Next. So this is not me stating, hey, this is what I think. And let's go ahead and put our chips on the table and see if anybody wants to raise me or ante up. You know, I just, this is a theory that is, it's on my mind. It's been on my mind ever since the announcement of Next. There's been something about the advertisement that people think that they can explain to me. And I rack my brain around it, and I don't understand how it's not questioned as much. All right, and so let's start with how some of these big YouTubers that are part of the Xbox community are completely throwing No Man's Sky under the bus. I've seen a couple of good ones, and I've seen actually some smaller YouTube channels talk very positively about Xbox getting No Man's Sky. But for the most part, I put my I put a video on at work, and I put some headphones in, and it was on autoplay. So it was just auto playing one video right after another, and I just wanted to check in and see what some Xbox communities, you know, some big YouTubers were saying about, you know, how, you know, they were perceiving No Man's Sky coming to Xbox. And for about, I would say, a good 4.5 hours of listening to some podcasts, I felt really down and depressed by the time I was done. By the time I said, I can't take any more of this, took the headphones out after about 4 hours, just nonstop badgering the fact, beating down the fact that this game was coming to the Xbox. And it's okay to have constructive criticism, but some of this stuff is like super negative. And so when you think about No Man's Sky and you think about the perception that most people outside of our community have, we know that the game is good. I want to state that if you landed here and you're from the Xbox community, one of the two biggest things that I heard yesterday or last night is that there's no story in the game. With Atlas Rises, there is a 30-hour story campaign inside No Man's Sky, and it's amazing. Super sci-fi, super interesting, and it's just I don't know, man. And it could take you even longer than 30 hours, especially for somebody like me who can't stay on target and gets sidetracked and things like that. So 30-hour story campaign, yes. Another thing that I've been hearing, I heard last night, is that they don't like survival games, so they don't want to play No Man's Sky. That they think survival games suck. Well, I don't even see No Man's Sky as a survival game, especially if you're going to be playing in creative. Yes, there's crafting and building in No Man's Sky, and I guess if you had to lump it somewhere, maybe you could say that it's a space survival game. But there is a survival mode, and in normal mode, you're not really doing too much surviving. Yes, you have to gather resources so that way you have the resources to build something, but the building mechanic in it is super easy, and it doesn't feel like a survival game, even on normal mode. But if you are wanting to explore in No Man's Sky, if you're wanting to play the story and things like that, creative mode is where you want to be. You don't have to worry about needing the resources to build certain things. You don't have to worry about dying. You don't have to worry about filling up the all the levels of stuff. Like your boost level, your warp drive fuel, your multi-tool power source and everything like that. You don't have to worry about any of that in creative mode. It's all just there for you. So creative mode, I think, is a lot of what people that I heard last night might be interested in. But a lot of negativity, a lot of what it sounds like firsthand experience in No Man's Sky, when it's not. It's not first-hand experience. It's second-hand experience, watching opinions from people who had opinions about the game who never even bought the game. So, a lot of confusion out there. No Man's Sky is an awesome game. It's very, and that's an opinion, right? That's my opinion. But some of the facts that I see that people are touting are just not true. And I think that, if those are the facts for the reasons why they don't like the game, well, then I don't know what to tell you, because those are incorrect. Those are alternative facts. So that leads me to my speculation. And that's why I brought up some of the negativity that I've been seeing, is because, again, this is theory, all right? Purely theory. I am not saying that this is what No Man's Sky Next is. I'm saying that I can't shake this thought from my head. Now, even when I say this, I can't go into detail on what this actually means or what it could actually entail. But this is, okay, I'm just going to go right into it. On the No Man's Sky Next advertisement, you've got two strange things. Okay, you got two certain things. One of them, the obvious one I'm going to point out, is the where sign on the bottom. That's a mystery to me. I believe, you know, that it's there because it's trying to get the Xbox One community involved in the lore of the ARG, so that way they can get them involved in ARG as well. Another thing that, you know, we're not thinking about, or some of us are, some of you guys are. I've seen some of you guys comment this, and came on the show, and you've even said something on some of the subcasts. The Atlas passes have not all come out. I think, and a few other people think as well, and that's because to get the Xbox community, the Xbox One community on board with Waking Titan, I think maybe half, or maybe a little bit more than half, or almost half of the Atlas passes have been sent out. But now it's time to get the Xbox One community involved into the ARG, and have them feel like they're included. I mean, how messed up is that? Is if you know, Xbox One's getting No Man's Sky, and there's a few people out there, quite a few people out there, that are happy that that's happening, and all of a sudden, they realize that the PlayStation community got these cool artifacts of this ARG, these Atlas passes, and they were involved in this. So I think, it's almost like, you almost want to think that maybe this was a last-minute decision, or it was a last-minute something that they were waiting to hear a confirmation on about the Xbox, and they thought, okay, well, we're not getting an answer, so let's just go ahead and go with the Waking Titan ARG. And all of a sudden, they got the answer, they got the confirmation. Yes, it's a green light. Go, 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 go. Xbox One is a green light. And then it's like, you know, that's the reason why the Waking Titan just completely just stopped. You know, like, oh, okay, put on the brakes. We got to reorganize this. What are we gonna do? You know, and then it sounded like maybe a 10-cent game, 10-cent Wii game, or maybe it was 505 Games. We're gonna spill the beans about No Man's Sky coming to their platform, and that's why Sean Murray had to come out and say, hey, this is about to leak. Let's go ahead and get this on there. Or that was just an excuse to be able to mention it, so that way they could recalibrate and get Xbox One community on board with the ARG, and even China. Get China on board with the ARG. So the where thing at the bottom, I think that's why it's there. I think that's why we haven't gotten our Atlas passes. The big time speculation. The big time speculation. I need a drink of coffee for this. All right. Now, when I say this, I like I said, it's a theory. Don't go off and go to bed tonight and think that this is true. But it's just one of those things that it's got me in a corner, and it won't let me out. The other thing that's on the advertisement, free update for existing players. No Man's Sky next. A free update for existing players. Now, No Man's Sky updates are free. They're always going to be free. They're going to be free for Xbox. They're going to be free for Sony. They're going to be free for Tencent. They're going to be free for Steam. We know this. And what is an existing player? An existing player is someone who has the game when the update hits. So why would you need to tell those people that the update is going to be free for them? So then you're talking, and people that are not existing players who don't own No Man's Sky yet are thinking to themselves, holy crap, does that mean that when an update hits and I buy the game, I'm going to have to pay for an update? Or after the update hits, even 3 months later, and I buy it, does that include me in the existing players, even though I wasn't an existing player when the update hit? free update for existing players. There is something very telling about that statement. It doesn't need to be said. That doesn't need to be on the advertisement. It doesn't need to be there. That is a redundant statement. A better way to put that is an update free for everyone. Existing players. Okay. Let me reorganize my thoughts here. So, the reason why I think that's on there, I think that's like a little clue, guys, because there's no way that would be on there, because it's just stupid to have that on there if all the updates are free for everyone all the time, anytime, for the foreseeable future. So Sean Murray, on the Xbox article that he actually wrote, at the bottom it says, which brings us to next. Our, and then in quotation marks, it says next step, in quotation marks. On a longer journey for us and the community, us and the No Man's Sky community. This is our biggest update so far, and something we've been working ridiculously hard on. And after its release, we'll continue to support No Man's Sky with significant and free content updates on Xbox One. Next has a lot we're going to surprise people with, and I can't wait until we can share more. We as a community with No Man's Sky, we hyped up the game. We were hyped. We were excited. You know, we hyped it up before it was launched. And Sean Murray released an entire interview about how he was afraid of the hype that was building. So this guy's not too keen on hype, and that right there is literally hyping up this update, saying that he has they're going to surprise people with this with next. So my speculation is this with the free update for existing players. Speculation and theory. So when I'm throwing this up against the wall, it's not sticking too well. All right. So this is a theory. My theory is, what if, and this, I'm posing this as a question. Remember that. I'm posing this as a question. What if that redundant statement is on there? Because Next changes No Man's Sky so much that it's a rebranding of the game. What do you mean by rebranding, Cobra? I have a lot, there's a couple people that work for GameStop, and they're telling me the same thing. They're getting brand new shipments of No Man's Sky in at GameStop. The Drunken Taco, okay, he tells me that, hey, Cobra, we're getting brand new No Man's Sky games shipped to our store with the cellophane still on it. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, they're sitting in the back room. A couple days later, he goes, hey, Cobra, we're marking them down for some reason. What? He goes, yeah, we're immediately marking them down and putting them on clearance. And I asked him to look at the boxes and see if there's anything different. He goes, no, these are just the original ones. He wasn't the only one that told me that either. So what I think is that they're getting rid of all the old stock of No Man's Sky. The old packaging, the old this, the old that. Because I feel like what we're going to be seeing is a rebranding of No Man's Sky. Imagine if this was called... Imagine if No Man's Sky Next was called No Man's Sky 2. Theory, remember. Theory, remember. Carpets and curtains, remember. But imagine if Next wasn't called Next. Imagine if it was called No Man's Sky 2. No Man's Sky Part 2, which shouldn't even exist. Because No Man's Sky is a persistent universe. It just could be added to that. You know, different stories, different updates and stuff like that. But hold on. But imagine, No Man's Sky Part 2. Now imagine if that advertisement said No Man's Sky Part 2. The sequel. Right? Or version 2. or next version. And it's coming to Xbox, right? And everybody for Xbox, they're going to be able to buy this. They're going to be able to play Part 2, Version 2, next version of No Man's Sky. And imagine the PS4 players and the PC players who probably won't want to go out and rebuy or buy another version of No Man's Sky, another rebranding of No Man's Sky, another No Man's Sky Part 2. Instead, anybody who owns it, anybody who's an existing player of it, will get the next version of No Man's Sky for free. We won't have to go out and buy the new rebranded, overhauled version. A version that is so different that it's not your typical No Man's Sky. So much has been added, theoretically. So much has changed, theoretically, that it's a completely new game, theoretically, to the point that it has to be rebranded. Rebranded into No Man's Sky Part 2, No Man's Sky Next. And that's... You want to call... we tried saying that relaunch was Atlas Rises, right? Which Atlas Rises changed the game significantly. I mean, a lot. But this is a relaunch of No Man's Sky. Reason why I can say that is because they're launching it on Xbox. And I think now that they're launching it on Xbox, they're rebranding it. They're changing it so much. If they're bringing it to Xbox, and Xbox knows, this is why I brought up some of the negativity on some of these Xbox podcasts. Xbox knows the perception of No Man's Sky, especially to Xbox community, especially to the rest of the world. Microsoft knows that. They watched it all happen. And they're touting it like this is a wonderful thing. And people in the Xbox community, some of them, not a lot, but some of them, you know, like the ones that don't want it to come to Xbox, they're looking around at Microsoft like, what are you doing? Have you not learned from what happened to Sony? What are you doing? Xbox knows what they have. Okay, they had to review it. They looked at it. This is something that is nothing that we can, conceive at the moment. We can't process what this is because it's a rebranding of No Man's Sky. It's so different that it could be considered like a No Man's Sky 2, but it would be stupid to call it No Man's Sky 2. So let's just call it No Man's Sky Next. This is an update that literally rebrands the game, and the people who already own No Man's Sky do not have to go out and buy the new No Man's Sky. Don't worry, this new version, this next version of No Man's Sky is free for existing players. That's what my theory is, that this is a rebranding, a relaunch, because it technically is a relaunch. I can actually say that now. It technically is a relaunch. And with this relaunch on Xbox One and 10-cent Wii game, with this relaunch comes with the power to back up the mouthpiece that describes No Man's Sky. And all of us who own it, PC and PS4, we don't have to go out and buy this new version because it's free for existing players. Imagine if it was No Man's Sky 2 and it was launched, it was relaunched, and all of a sudden we have this No Man's Sky version in our home, but then there's this No Man's Sky 2 box on the shelves. Like, well, wait a minute, we want to buy that game. No, don't worry, this is still an update. It's still an update. We're just rebranding it at the same time. But don't worry, we're including you in that. It's just an update. It's just a major freaking update. It's a big update. It's a rebranding, but if you have the game, don't worry. We'll just flip the script on you. We'll give it to you. You know, you ain't gotta go out and buy this new version. It's free for existing players. That's what I think the free for existing, this update is free for existing players means on that advertisement. It's not just a statement that says, that's trying to tell us that this update is going to be free, because it would just, the sentence would read something like, another free update. Right? Another free update. No, this thing says, an update free for existing players. The sentence, the statement, is a meaning. Just like everything else with this ARG, this Waking Titan, wear a symbol down at the bottom. It all means something. It's saying something without saying it, guys. It's saying something without literally saying it. I want to know what you guys think down below. So, what does that mean? You know, now you know what's in my mind. Now you know what I'm theorizing. But what does that entail for the update? That, I don't know, Sam Swain. I don't know. Okay, I toss and I turn, and I can't figure that out. Multiplayer, VR, okay. A lot of people think VR. The only thing I can go off of that actually holds water for me is, you know, what he said in the past with Atlas Rises, that this was the first step in synchronized cooperative gameplay, multiplayer, and that you know, this is the next step. Next is the next step, in parentheses actually, the next step for us and the community on a longer journey. So I've got multiplayer down there on the top of the list. This is going to be in the update. And the other Sam Swain, the other stuff is, you know, is all purely guessing at this point. Guessing. So I don't know. A rebranding, a relaunch, major. This is an overhaul, you know, just like Rayrod did his overhaul. No Man's Sky is doing, Hello Games is doing theirs as well. And I can't wait to see what he means by he's got surprises for us. So super interested in that. I want to know, comment down below what you think is in this update. Not what you want specifically, but what you think is going to be in this update. I also want to get your opinion on rebranding relaunch. Well, it's a relaunch because it's launching on 2 other platforms. It's launching again. It's launching again. And the game's going to, in my opinion, theorizing, it's going to change so much that it's considered a new version, the next version of No Man's Sky. It'd be stupid to call it No Man's Sky 2. This is No Man's Sky Next, and don't worry, current owners of the game, present owners of the game, this update is free for present owners of the game, current owners of the game. You don't have to go out and buy this new version. So I think with that said, we're in store for like a big surprise, like Sean Murray said. Let me know down below what you guys think. You agree or disagree? I mean, it's fine if you disagree, because I don't know. I don't know for a fact until, you know, we get the game. It's fun to talk about it though, right? You know, if you disagree, you don't know what's you know, what this is, or if I'm right or not, or if you don't know if I'm wrong or not. I mean, none of us know. So it's really cool to open up the discussion, start talking. That's what we do as a community. We talk. We have discourse with each other. So reach out to the Xbox community, guys. Reach out to them and make them feel welcome. Don't get involved in arguments with people who are saying, oh, there's no story in No Man's Sky. You know why? Because they're probably coming from those larger YouTubers who are stating these alternative facts. And they're learning from who they feel they could trust. Okay, so don't get mad at, No Man's, Xbox One players. Don't get mad at them if that's the information that they're coming loaded with. I mean, if we treat them with respect and, and instead of just getting knee-jerked and, knee-jerk reaction, getting upset and starting an argument, if we treat them with respect and we try and educate them and let them know, hey, no, that's not right. Here, let me tell you, come here. Pull up one of these chairs here at the space station. Sit down with me for a second. Maybe we can help change your mind and, enlighten them on the real facts about the game. It's fun to play this game, guys, and it's also apparently super fun to hate it. But that's all I've got for you today. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Cobros are awesome. As always, I love you. I will see you all in the next video. Until next time. See you guys.